Hey and welcome back. Today's video is on foundations for a brown skin toned girl. So all you brown girls out there, if you have medium olive skin tone with golden undertones or yellow undertones to it, and if you're looking for a foundation both in the drugstore and in the high-end range, and this video is definitely for you because we're going to talk about all the different foundations, all the ranges of shades, consistency, textures, brands, and I'm sure by the end of this video you'll be really able to match your color to one of my colors on my color chart, and maybe one of the foundations that I have is something that you've been looking for a very long time. So let's jump right into the video. While choosing my foundation, I always go in for a shade that is my skin tone or like a tiny bit darker than I am. I don't prefer going for a foundation that is lighter because I don't want it to look like a ghost with a color that is much lighter than I am. And I pretty much recommend the same thing when you are looking for your foundation. I recommend you test it out on your jawline to see that it matches with the color of your neck and the rest of your body. To start off with, I want to talk about the MAC. Okay, when I talk about MAC, usually the first foundation that comes to your mind is the Studio Fix foundation. That's like the most famous foundation in MAC. But today I'm going to talk about the MAC Match Master foundation. I actually got a sample of the Studio Fix foundation and it is definitely one of the best MAC foundations, no doubt. But I still wanted to experiment with the Match Master because I was looking for a matte foundation with full coverage and very closest match to my skin tone. And if you are looking for a matte full coverage foundation that just gives flawless complete look wherein all your blemishes are hidden, and this Match Master from MAC is definitely something that you should have. So I'm in the shade 06. Let me get you close to the camera. And I'm in the shade 06. So if you can see from the bottle itself, there's a lot of yellow undertones to it. So if you're a girl with yellow undertones and then still not able to find out the correct foundation match for you, then this video is definitely for you. So so that's that. I kind of swatch every foundation for you to just know the consistency. This is not too thin, not too thick. It is like a medium runny consistency. And I'll show you a tiny bit swatch. So this is how thick it is, and this is the Match Master MAC foundation in the shade 06. Let me just spread it out a little bit for you. You see how thick and full coverage it is. It almost completely covers your entire skin. So if you're looking for a photo shoot or for a fashion photography, I think this is a pretty good foundation that you can go for. But one thing about MAC foundations is that it has a lot of orange undertones to it. So that's when I started experimenting and looking for other brands to see if there are foundations with less of orange and just more of, you know, the yellow and brown, beautiful golden undertone. So the next foundation that I experimented with, or the next foundation that I bought, was the MAC Studio Sculpt foundation that is not matte, but it kind of leaves a very dewy, wet look to your face and kind of sculpts your face. And this is the foundation that you should be, getting your hands on, because this is called the Studio Sculpt and it is mainly known to kind of chisel your features and sculpt it. Consistency of this foundation is quite thick and creamy, but as you can see, a little goes a long way. See, let me just rub it into it and show that this is like a very creamy, dewy, moisture enriched foundation that is if you are oily skin tone, I don't think I should recommend this for you. If you are you have a dry skin and you want to make it look more supple and dewy, then I think you should go for this, but this is a complete no-no for oily skin tone girls. The next foundation from the high-end range I'm going to talk about today is the Estée Lauder foundation. The Estée Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup Foundation. The name has it all. It just completely stays in place and doesn't budge at all. Like if you were a bride looking for a foundation and you want to do your own makeup, or you want to even recommend a foundation to your makeup artist, you should definitely go for this one. And out of the shades that are available in India, I had to pick the closest match. The color that I picked up in the Estée Lauder range is the 4N2. It's called Spiced Sand. I would say this particular foundation is a little more on the neutral side and has less of golden undertones. So if you're a medium skin girl with an NC42 skin, and if you don't have too much of yellow undertone to it, you're slightly on the neutral side, then this is a perfect foundation for you. It doesn't budge, it gives a complete coverage and stays in place the entire day, 8 hours it just stays in place and gives you like a completely airbrushed flawless finish. The only thing about this foundation is that it has SPF content in it, and the SPF is 10. But in my personal opinion, I haven't seen too much of a flashback on camera using this foundation. So I don't know, you let me know in the comments if you feel that you've seen a lot of flashback with the Estee Lauder foundation. So let me just show you a small swatch of how this foundation looks. So this foundation, as you can see, is more liquidy when compared to the other foundations. It is not cream based, it is pretty much liquidy, and it is still full coverage, and it's so smooth, and I just love how it spreads on the skin, like beautiful. And this is, I should say, one of my favorite out of everything out there. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, and something about the Makeup Forever range is the shade ranges are pretty close to each other, so I don't think you're really going to go too wrong with picking your shade. And most of the brown or medium skin toned Indian girls, I think this shade called 153 I think it's called 153 and Y405. So it is 153 Y405 again. Let me get you close so you get to see how the color looks on the bottle. It gives a airbrushed finish foundation. Like today I'm wearing this foundation. It gives a completely flawless like skin and an airbrush finish to the entire makeup. And let me show you consistency. Something that's great about this foundation, you know, it's like one of the most raved foundations, and it comes with a pump, and so that's very useful and kind of convenient to use because you can just pump it. You don't get too much of excess product out every time you use it. That's like one thing that's really good. And I think this is the reason I like this foundation so much, is because it's like the perfect shade match. Now there are a lot of other foundations like the ones that I have that are pretty much close or like very close to my skin tone, but this is like so perfect, like my skin tone in a bottle. So I totally love this foundation. And if it's a really special occasion that is like close to my heart, or if I'm like really going to be tested on my makeup, or if I'm going out with my girls, you just want to have your makeup in fleek when you're going out with your makeup lover friends, and this is the foundation that I go to. And I'll show you how it spreads on the skin. Look at that. So as I was saying, the Makeup Forever foundation does not oxidize too much, and that's one thing that I love about this foundation. So the next foundation that I'm going to talk about today is the Nars All Day Weightless Luminous foundation. It is my go-to foundation. Like, I know I'm saying this for almost every foundation, but seriously, trust me, I love this foundation. Check out the packaging. It's got a beautiful frosted bottle, and it's got a pump. One thing that is really annoying about this foundation is that it always gets very messy. I don't know if it's just me or it's just this foundation that gets very messy. It kind of spreads all over the bottle, and as you can see, all over the cap. The oil base of the foundation formula kind of like, I noticed that it kind of like separates out, so you want to like shake it well before you use it. So this is in the shade Tahoe, and as you can see, this is a tiny bit darker to my skin tone. You want to compare it mostly with your neck or your, you know, the rest of your body to find out if the foundation is the exact match to you. So this foundation in the shade Tahoe was like one shade darker than I am, but I could still work it out with a lot of concealer and contouring and stuff, and I used it for almost a year until I found the other shade, which is in the shade Syracuse. Now Syracuse is the perfect match to my skin tone, and this is the foundation that I used for my wedding makeup. And I'm just going to show you, I'm going to pump this foundation out and show you. Okay, that is like a few drops, and it has quite a good coverage, like medium to full coverage, and you can see this much is like totally enough for your entire face. And this color is very close to my skin tone. So if you are an NC40, then you should pick the shade Syracuse. And if you are an NC 43.5 or an NC 45, Tahoe is the one for you. So if you are contemplating on which shade to pick on the Nars range, I would say like if you are like 1 or 2 tones darker than I am, pick the Tahoe. And if you are very close to my skin tone, then I'd recommend you pick the Syracuse. And this is, oh, check it out. This is how it looks like the minute I spread it out. Do you see how luminous this is? One thing about this foundation, as the name suggests, it is weightless, it is luminous, and it just stays put all day long. I love it when a liquid foundation has a natural glow and luminosity to it. Look at how naturally it makes my skin glow. So now you know how to achieve that beautiful, natural, glowy, hydrated, supple skin. It is the Nars All Day Luminous Foundation. Okay, so for my next foundation, in the recent times, I've been finding myself to become like a huge fan of Charlotte Tilbury and her products. So I was like going completely crazy. I wanted to try every product in her line, and so I got myself the Light Wonder foundation. If you're looking for a daily wear light foundation that is not too heavy, the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation is like my recent finds, and it is an amazing foundation. So it says the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Youth Boosting Perfect Skin Foundation, and it has an SPF of 15. So I picked mine in the shade 8 medium. It's got a nice squeezy nozzle, which is like really cute, and let me show you. Look, kind of like drops. So that's how light it is. It has a lot of water to it. I'm going to blend in this foundation to show you how it looks. And this is a very light foundation. I would definitely say it is light to medium coverage. It is not going to cover your scars, your acne, your hyperpigmentation, your dark circles at all. But it is still going to give you a very natural, better skin look. A natural you but better skin look. That's why I would recommend it for a daily wear like foundation. It's like a BB cream. Look at the coverage. It's medium. I wouldn't say it's like very. It's definitely a medium coverage. And it also has a dewy consistency to it. So again, I'm not sure how much it works for a girl with oily skin tone. So if you have dry skin tone and if you are a girl who loves this dewy, glowy, fresh look, then you should check out the Light Wonder foundation. But if you are a girl with oily skin tone and you're looking for a foundation from the Charlotte Tilbury range, then the next one, the Magic foundation, is totally for you. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic foundation, broad spectrum SPF 15 again, and it is like, it comes in a 30 ml. Look at this bottle, like just look at this bottle. So pretty. And I picked mine again in the shade medium. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic foundation, and I'm gonna show you how it bumps out. Let me get you close to the camera. Oh, look. So even in the consistency, you can see that it is much thicker than the Light Wonder foundation. So it is, and that much is one pump or like 1.5 pumps is more than enough for you to cover your entire face. This foundation can hide your blemishes and your dark circles and acne marks and kind of like even out your entire skin tone. It is definitely like an Instagram filter for your skin. So check out this foundation. But even when I'm like kind of like spreading it out, you know how thick the consistency is. If you're a brown girl with yellow undertones and if you're looking for a Charlotte Tilbury foundation, then you should go for the Magic foundation. Okay, I have like 2 of my favorite foundations from the drugstore that I'm going to talk about. One is the Fit Me foundation. If you're a college girl or if you're doing like an internship and if you're like just getting into makeup and trying to like experiment and you want to buy like a budget foundation that is available in India and like all over the world, like highly recommend the Maybelline Fit Me range. They have a range of shades for you to like choose from. To start off with, the first thing that you should know about the Maybelline Fit Me foundation is that they come in 2 ranges. One is the dewy smooth foundation and one is the matte poreless foundation. So if you are an oily skin tone girl and if you have an oily T-zone and you don't like too much of the dewiness, or if you feel like by the end of the day you're just gonna sweat and your makeup will like come out, then you should go for the matte poreless foundation. Matte poreless foundation from the Fit Me range is like launched in India, and I think the shades 322 and 330 are very close to my skin tone, that is like the brown or olive skin tone. But I personally prefer something that is dewy. I think you would like figure that out. You would have like figured that out from the foundations that I showed you. So I have the dewy smooth Fit Me range of foundations, and I'm in the shade 240, which is golden beige. This is like the perfect foundation color match from the Maybelline range. I'll get you close. It is 240 Golden Beige. And I wish they had a pump, because I tend to always waste a lot of product. I like really love this foundation and hate myself for like getting extra of it almost every morning. See, even now, oh my gosh. It's like the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, again in the dewy finish. Okay, so the next foundation that I'm going to talk about is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Ultra Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation. Now this foundation I think is an attempt to dupe for the Makeup Forever HD foundation. You can see a lot of similarities in the packaging and the formulation, and also the coverage, I would say. So if you are looking for a drugstore alternative or a dupe for the HD foundation, the Makeup Forever HD foundation, then go in for the LA Girl foundation, and I'm in the shade Warm Beige. I picked it up in one of the Nykaa stores in Bangalore, so you can actually test out your shades and pick it up. This is the LA Girl foundation in Warm Beige. It's quite light, it's not too heavy, but still works out to be a great foundation from the drugstore. From the drugstore, the foundations that I'll definitely recommend to you is the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation, the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. The Milani foundation is something that you should definitely try out. It's available on Nykaa, and I'm going to link that for you. And the Illamasqua foundation, if you get your hands on it, then that is also worth a try. So there's just this one more foundation that I would like to mention in this video. No, it's not a liquid foundation, but it happens to be one of my favorite foundations, and I've been recently trying out the Bobbi Brown stick foundation, and I'm in the shade Golden Honey. I think it's an amazing foundation for you to like quickly open up and like swap it all over your face and just blend it with a beauty blender and run. It's like a great foundation that is like on the go if you are like driving and if you're like traveling and then you want to carry a foundation stick with you. Creamy in consistency and blends beautifully into your skin, like within seconds, like it becomes like a part of your skin. If you're wondering how I got this natural dewy shine to the high points of my cheek, my contoured nose line, forehead, and my cheekbone, it is the Chanel Vita Lumière foundation. Now there's something very unique about this foundation, is because this foundation is, it says that it is a satin smoothing fluid makeup. I wouldn't even call it a foundation actually, and I'm not sure if a lot of you would like to wear it as a foundation by itself. So what I pretty much do is I wear a foundation and then I top it off to like highlight the high points and bring more definition. This Chanel Vita Lumière Satin Smoothing Fluid Makeup is very similar to the recent launch by Charlotte Tilbury, which is like the Fox filter, which says that it is an Instagram glow and Instagram airbrushed flawless finish. And I think this product from the Chanel range definitely does that. Gives a very smooth, silky and glowy effect. I want to really see how it reflects on the high points. This is something that you should definitely have if you want to take your makeup to the next level and experiment how you want to play around with textures and formulations and consistency and different, you know, textures on your skin, like a dewy finish, like a matte finish, and get you really close for you to see how this foundation has seamlessly blended. The only reason why I didn't get my hands on the Huda foundation is because when I see the videos, I find it like a totally full coverage and completely artificial layer of foundation on your skin, and I'm not too sure how comfortable I am with that kind of consistency or thickness to a foundation. The Fenty Beauty is definitely something that is on my wish list, but the one foundation that is like on my wish list for a very long time is the Armani foundation, which is on my wish list for like a very long time. Then please share your experience and how you like it in the comments below. And the thing that is like very common among the brown girls is they think that the fairer you are, the more beautiful you are, but honestly that's not the case. We have such a pretty brown, olive, you know, dusky skin tone that pretty much complements any color. And I think you should really embrace the fact that we have a very healthy color to our skin tone that is, you know, and be proud of who you are as a brown girl. Now we've come to the end of this video where I have pretty much taken you through all of my favorite foundations and my color chart. If you're wondering which lipstick I'm wearing today, I'm wearing the Huda Beauty Lip Contour in the shade Trendsetter. And I hope that all of my blabbering was like useful for you to identify where you can really map yourself in my color chart and find like your perfect foundation in one of these brands that I was talking about today in both the high-end and drugstore foundations. And if you like this video, then don't forget to leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. You can also check me out on Instagram. I am Makeup by Cynthia Robinson, and Twitter you can follow me as Cynthiarobin31. And make sure you check out my blog, which is Cynthiarobinsonblog at wordpress.com. I have a range of interesting blogs out there, so you can read a lot of reviews and some of my favorites in detail. Until next time, bye!